But we really wanted to show the depth and breadth of Tesla in artificial intelligence, compute hardware, robotics actuators, and try to really shift the perception of the company away from, a lot of people think we're like just a car company or we make cool cars, whatever, but they don't have, most people have no idea that Tesla is arguably the leader in real-world AI hardware and software, and that we're building what is arguably the first, the most radical computer architecture since the Cray 1 supercomputer. And I think if you're interested in developing some of the most advanced technology in the world that's going to really affect the world in a positive way, Tesla's the place to be. So yeah, let's fire away with some questions. I think there's a mic at the front and a mic at the back.
Chris,
or
on this side.
Just throw mics at people. Jump ball for the mic.
Yeah, hi, thank you very much. I was impressed here. Yeah. I was impressed very much by Optimus, but I wonder why tendon-driven, the hand? Why did you choose a tendon-driven approach for the hand? Because tendons are not very durable. And why spring-loaded?
Yeah. Hello, is this working? Cool, awesome. Yes, that's a great question. When it comes to any type of actuation scheme, there's trade-offs between, whether or not it's a tendon-driven system or some type of linkage-based system.
Just keep the mic close to your mouth.
A little bit closer.
Yeah.
Hear me? Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, the main reason why we went for a tendon-based system is that, first we actually investigated some synthetic tendons, but we found that metallic Bowden cables are, a lot stronger. One of the advantages of these cables is that it's very good for part reduction. We do want to make a lot of these hands, so having a bunch of parts, a bunch of small linkages ends up being a problem when you're making a lot of something. One of the big reasons that tendons are better than linkages in a sense is that you can be anti-backlash. So anti-backlash essentially, allows you to not have any gaps or, stuttery motion in your fingers. Spring-loaded, mainly what spring-loaded allows us to do is allows us to have active opening. So instead of having to have two actuators to drive the fingers closed and then open, we have the ability to, have the tendon drive them closed and then the springs passively extend. And this is something that's seen in our hands as well, right? We have the ability to actively flex, and then we also have the ability to extend. Yeah.
I mean, our goal with Optimus is to have a robot that is maximally useful as quickly as possible. So there's a lot of ways to solve the various problems of a humanoid robot. We're probably not barking up the right tree on all the technical solutions. And I should say that we're open to evolving the technical solutions that you see here over time. They're not locked in stone. But we have to pick something, and we want to pick something that's going to allow us to produce the robot as quickly as possible and have it, like I said, be useful as quickly as possible. We're trying to follow the goal of fastest path to a useful robot that can be made at volume. And we're going to test the robot internally at Tesla in our factory, and just see how useful is it, because you have to have you've got to close the loop on reality to confirm that the robot is in fact useful, yeah. So we're just going to use it to build things, and we're confident we can do that with the hand that we have currently designed. But for sure there'll be hand version 2, version 3, and we may change the architecture quite significantly over time.
Sorry. Hi. The Optimus robot is really impressive. You did a great job. Bipedal robots are really difficult. But what I noticed might be missing from your plan is to acknowledge the utility of the human spirit, and I'm wondering if Optimus will ever get a personality and be able to laugh at our jokes while it folds our clothes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we want to have really fun versions of Optimus, so that Optimus can both be utilitarian and do tasks, but can also be kind of like a friend and a buddy and hang out with you. And I'm sure people will think of all sorts of creative uses for this robot. You know, the thing, once you have the core intelligence and actuators figured out, then you can actually, you know, put all sorts of costumes, I guess, on the robot. I mean, you can make the robot look. You can skin the robot in many different ways, I'm sure people will find very interesting ways to yeah, versions of Optimus. So.
Thanks for the great presentation. I wanted to know if there was an equivalent to interventions in Optimus. It seems like labeling through moments where humans disagree with what's going on is important, and in a humanoid robot, that might be also a desirable source of information.
Want to say anything?
Yeah, I think we'll have ways to remote operate the robot and intervene when it does something bad, especially when we are training the robot and bringing it up. And hopefully we design it in a way that we can stop the robot from, if it's going to hit something, we can just like hold it and then it'll stop. It won't like crush your hand or something. And those are all intervention data. Yeah, and we can learn a lot from our simulation systems too, where we can check for collisions and supervise that those are bad actions.
Yeah, I mean, so Optimus, we want over time for it to be, you know, an android, the kind of android that you'd seen in sci-fi movies, like Star Trek: The Next Generation, like Data. But obviously, we could program the robot to be less robot-like and more friendly, and you know, it can obviously learn to emulate humans and feel very natural. So as AI in general improves, we can add that to the robot, and you know, it should be obviously able to do simple instructions or even intuit what it is that you want. So you could give it a high-level instruction, and then it can break that down into a series of actions and take those actions.
Hi. Yeah, it's exciting to think that with the Optimus, you will think that you can achieve orders of magnitude of improvement in economic output. That's really exciting. And when Tesla started, the mission was to accelerate the advent of renewable energy or sustainable transport. So with the Optimus, do you still see that mission being the mission statement of Tesla, or is it going to be updated with, mission to accelerate the advent of, I don't know, infinite abundance or limitless economy?
Yeah, I mean, it is not strictly speaking, Optimus is not strictly speaking directly in line with